That's it. That's the one thing. If you take nothing else from this, it's shape the questions that the C-suite asks to the rest of the organization, and you will close deals faster, you'll have bigger sales, and you'll make an impact in the industry that's felt far past just your business. The real problem that I kept finding in the marketplace is that marketing and sales is generally thought of as a slow roll. We're constantly talking about how slow the sales process is, and we just take for granted that it's gonna take a long time. There are multiple parties involved, we all gotta get them involved. And so the question I wanted to answer was, can we speed up the way marketing works? And two, can we generate and build a sales process that is faster than we expect? I think I've found something that can help. I want people to experiment with it, and I want to hear what the feedback is. Does it make an impact? Top-down promotion is just like influencing a purchase decision at the highest level possible. So the idea is that at the bottom of the pyramid, you have the practitioners, the everyday people who are going to be using the software or tool or whatever. Now those people are asking the frequently asked questions. How do I do this better? How can I make this faster? How do I even use the tool, right? Like these are the FAQs. And there's a large volume of people asking those questions. Now, if you go all the way to the very top of the pyramid, you're looking at like the C-suite executives. Those people aren't asking practical questions like that. Think of it this way. The practitioners are asking for how-to answers. How am I going to get this done? How will this help me be a better salesperson? At the very top, the CEO is asking like, what is the future of B2B sales? Like, how is that gonna look? And how can I play that out? And then below them, you have like the executives that are below the C-suite, and they're asking fundamentally like, how should we be thinking about the future? So if you're the head of sales, you're thinking, how should we take what's happening in the sales world as a whole and apply it to us? And then below that, the executives, you have these managers who are now managing the practitioners, and they really want to know, how have others seen success with this approach? And if you think of those tiers, you know, really building a sales process and an approach around top-down promotion has a much faster sales cycle than if you're trying to build it from the bottom up. If I was selling any software as a service, in this case maybe it's called virtual selling, I would right now, before every call, trying to identify who am I talking to and where are they on the influence pyramid, and what's the one question that I need to make sure I answer to help them embrace the big idea first and then our product second. You know, if I was talking to a manager, I want to show them some quick case studies of how other people have implemented not my product, but virtual selling to be much more successful. If I'm on the phone with an executive, I want them to understand that they need to have a firm and clear approach to implementing virtual selling over the next 6 to 12 months, or they're gonna fall behind. And at the C-suite, the things you enjoy aren't trying to calculate ROI or figure out if it went up or down by 2%. It's making fundamental change that might be transformation for the entire industry over time to be looked at as a leader who just charted a new path for this company. And so their biggest fear is they're missing out on one of those opportunities, or there's an opportunity they can capitalize on right now that is right under their nose that maybe they've even been thinking about but never had a term for it or a partner who understood what they were trying to do. And if you can tap into just those two simple ideas without getting into the nitty-gritty of the ROI and the return and the cost, and you all of a sudden are getting them excited about what they really are in the job to do. And the same goes for the tiers below. You know, if you can help them understand that if you want to eventually move into that executive suite, as a manager, you're gonna have to understand how other people have moved up as a result. Like, I just read a really great white paper, and why they were so compelling is because they were about how the product made the person one of them got 5 promotions in 18 months. That sounds more exciting to me than what the product actually did. You know, I think one of the biggest fallacies in sales is that we're trying to convince people to do something. I think you'll be a much more successful salesperson if you can get them to the point where they believe this is a no-brainer. Why should I not do this? Is what the question you want them to be asking themselves.